Covering Flint, Saginaw, and Bay City, this is ABC 12 News at 6.
UAW! UAW! UAW!
18 hours later and still no deal. UAW and General Motors negotiators were back at it today after workers walked off the job at 11:59 last night.
The UAW is looking to secure a number of things, including fair wages, job security, and a defined path to seniority for temp workers. The union says it wants GM to recognize the contributions and sacrifices members make to create a healthy, profitable industry.
GM says it put a deal on the table offering $7 billion in investments, more than 5,400 jobs, and higher pay. The automaker's goal is to reach an agreement that builds a stronger future for employees and the business.
Now, hitting the picket line can be a huge sacrifice for UAW members.
It's something many of them have been preparing for, though, long before the strike was authorized. Our Mark Bullion is live in Swartz Creek tonight, where strikers have been out all day. So, Mark, first, what's the atmosphere like out there?
Yeah, good evening, Matt and Angie. Well, here at the SPO in Swartz Creek, the people here saying while this isn't exactly the easiest pill to swallow, they say it is necessary to send a message to GM that they want their fair share piece of the pie.
Troy Nasser Taylor has been with UAW Local 659 for 5 years as a Tier 2 worker.
Right now, we're standing together, standing strong. It's our time this time to finally get some stuff back.
Nasser Taylor among the 49,000 workers nationwide who will not be receiving a paycheck from GM.
I just sold my house. I'm in the process of buying another house. So who knows if that's going to go through while we're on strike.
He says that may have to be put on hold, or he may have to pay for an extension on the loan, something he's willing to do.
Luckily, our union leadership has been prepping us of the possibility of a strike at the end of our contract for some time now. So hopefully all of our membership has been doing their due diligence and putting extra money aside.
Nasser Taylor says even though he's off the job and standing in solidarity with his fellow union members, life goes on.
In a few weeks, I have a wedding reception. So obviously this will impact that, but I've been putting money aside and doing what I got to do to make sure that I'm ready for this.
He says while sacrifices are and will be made, he is not losing light of why he's making his voice heard.
It can be days, weeks, months, whatever we got to do. We'll figure out a way to get by. We got to stand together, all of us, to get back what we deserve.
And GM workers here say that while it's difficult to not be working, they will continue to picket until a fair contract is reached. When that is, time will tell. Reporting live in Swartz Creek, Mark Bullion, ABC 12 News.
Thanks, Mark. Now, the last GM strike happened in 2007 and lasted 17 hours, but the last prolonged walkout started as a local strike in Flint. That was back in 1998. 3,400 workers at Flint Medical Center walked off the job over what the union said were staffing and safety issues. GM, on the other hand, said the sticking point was over work rules and productivity. A short time later, strikers were joined by workers at Flint East, which supplied key parts for nearly all GM workers. Within 2 weeks, 30 plants shut down and 193,000 workers were laid off. Now, that strike lasted 54 days with an agreement that GM would not close the striking plants and that workers agreed to a 15% increase in productivity. Now, Flint Assembly isn't the only plant impacted by today's strike. Across the country, 33 manufacturing plants have shut down, as well as 22 parts distribution warehouses. Those participating in Michigan are listed on your screen. In total, the UAW says roughly 50,000 members have walked off the job.
So what kind of support do UAW members receive when they go on strike? According to the union's website, workers who show up to the picket line receive $250 per week starting next week, when they will receive their strike pay. Some health care benefits are covered, like medical and prescription drug assistance, but dental, vision, hearing, and accident are not. In Michigan, people on strike cannot receive unemployment benefits from the state. Look closely and you'll see it's not just GM workers outside the plant. ABC 12's Rebecca Schultz shows us how other community members are supporting union members who are on strike.
Just like they do on normal days here at Saginaw Metal Casting Operations, General Motors workers are working in shifts to make sure someone is always on the line. As they are finding out, they are not in this alone.
Saginaw's a union town. We're here to support the unions as a whole. The workers are being slighted and they're out here marching, so we're here in solidarity to support.
Justin Pomerville, business manager for UA Local 85, says showing up was a no-brainer for his team of plumbers, steam fitters, and heating and cooling service techs.
They're out here marching for workers' rights, and that's what we stand for. You know, you want all workers to be treated fairly, no matter what.
They came to stand with their union brothers and sisters and brought lunch.
And we brought water and food, and we're going to continue to be here until it's over.
No one knows how long the strike will last. Saginaw's mayor hopes a fair deal happens sooner rather than later, considering many workers not only work here, but live here.
No one really benefits from a strike, neither the workers nor the company. I understand their motivation. I support their efforts, but I hope it comes to a resolution quickly.
Striking workers say each honk from a passing car or truck shows support just as much as someone who joins them on this line.
Morale and to see that what they're doing matters out here, they need to understand that it's bigger than just them.
Local 85 members are also supporting these striking workers at Bay City's powertrain. In Saginaw, Rebecca Trilch, ABC 12 News.
Less than a day into the strike and things are already getting costly. GM is expected to lose over $1 million an hour, and it's costing the UAW about $12.5 million a week. If the strike drags on, the impact will be felt outside the auto industry.
So all the businesses that serve auto workers are going to feel a pinch. If the plant stays shut down for a while, all of a sudden the suppliers are going to start to see a pinch because they're going to have no customers for the parts they're making. So they might start shutting down, which will idle more workers. Tax revenue at the local, the state level will start to fall, and the state economy will start to drag.
We did reach out to a local automotive supplier to see if the strike is impacting them at all. Nextier says it plans to continue production as scheduled and will continue to monitor negotiations between GM and the UAW.
And just in at 6 o'clock, President Trump commenting publicly on the strike for the first time, saying he hopes GM and the UAW reach a deal soon.
Hopefully they'll be able to work out the GM strike quickly. We don't want General Motors building plants outside of this country, and we're very strong on that. The UAW has been very good to me. The members have been very good from the standpoint of voting. The relationship is good. Hopefully they're going to work that out quickly and solidly.
And coming up at the bottom of the hour, World News Tonight with David Muir. We'll pick up our strike coverage live from Detroit, where negotiations between GM and the UAW are still underway. And be sure to tune into ABC 12 News at 11 for the most up-to-date coverage from the picket line.